Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Coaster News. And as always, we've got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's just get straight into the news today. Our top story for tonight, Thorpe Park have revealed new details about one of their new for 2022 events known as Carnival. And obviously, the Thorpe Park events lineup this year is bigger than any other year they've had in their 43 year history. Because obviously this year they've got not only two brand new events, but they've got 4 events in total. The 2 brand new ones, Mardi Gras, which is the first one that's already happened, and then the next one is Carnival, which is also new for 2022, which is the one we're talking about today. And obviously after that there's Oktoberfest, and then the classic Fright Nights, which is probably the most exciting one. And obviously today we're going to be talking about the Carnival event, which will be its inaugural year this year. And the other day, Thorpe Park actually revealed some new details about what to expect at the event. And this includes new entertainment offerings, and even the return of a Fright Nights scare maze for Carnival. I know what you're thinking, how come they're bringing back a Fright Nights maze when it's literally the middle of summer? I'm going to get to that in a bit. I want to leave the best for last, actually. So basically, in the lineup they've announced loads of different entertainment live performances that can be seen in the carnival and the circus. So things like the I don't know what it's called. I literally forgot what it's called. But the guy that has a stick that has fire on both ends of it and he twirls it around in the end. It's really cool and exciting. They're gonna have that for Carnival, and it looks really cool. Obviously they got the ringleader show, just outside of Colossus, I think, and I'm not sure what's going to happen in that show, but they've even got they've brought back theming from Fright Nights from the Big Top Scare Maze, which actually we posted about a few weeks ago, when they brought back the entrance portal for that, repainted it so that it's, shall we say, less scary, and obviously put it in as part of the new ringleader show. And on top of that, they've also got other performing actors, such as a group of mimes, which I'm assuming will be roaming the park, which obviously looks amazing. But perhaps the biggest thing that they announced for Carnival, which I was mentioning earlier, is that they are bringing back the trailers scare maze from Fright Nights 2021 for this event. But here's where it goes different to what it's going to be like for Fright Nights. They've announced it's going to be completely, pretty much different than what it was at Fright Nights. They've already said that there's going to give it a name change. So in the new Carnival event, it's going to be known as Trailers Breakout at Bozo's. And basically what they're doing here is, it's like the Trailers Scare Maze. It's literally in the same building, but it's got loads, it's like more or less Carnival and scary clownish themed, because obviously in the trailer Scare Maze last year there was actually a scene in the maze which was pretty much based on the Big Top Scare Maze that existed a few years ago, which was full of scary clowns, and I'm pretty sure that's inspired by that scene in the maze and obviously the Big Top itself. So because obviously it's not Fright Nights that they're doing it's for Carnival, which is more of a family event, and they've actually changed the recommended age restriction from minimum of 13 plus to 8 plus, so it will probably be slightly toned down, but obviously still scary, because they're saying that literally the first words it reads in the description on the website is "enter the dark side of Carnival." So that is still going to be scary, but maybe not as scary as at Fright Nights. And it does sound really interesting. Thorpe Park, I don't think have ever done this before, apart from a few years ago when they in 2018, in the year of The Walking Dead, when they brought back the Living Nightmare Scare Maze and turned it into Living Nightmare Extreme. That was all during the summer for the year of The Walking Dead, because that's when X No Way Out was rethemed to The Walking Dead the ride. And obviously apparently that was really good, and I imagine doing something similar here with trailers for the Carnival event. And also this kind of confirms that trailers could be returning for Fright Nights this year, obviously in all of its glory. But actually I'm glad they're doing this, because I didn't actually get to experience trailers for Fright Nights this year, and I'm actually going to experience it at Carnival, but obviously in a different light. And I really cannot wait for it, and it looks really exciting. In other news today, and this is kind of a bit of sad news, and like really sad news. Basically, Cedar Fair have announced that they are, I think they've either sold or are planning to sell California's Great America, specifically the land of it. And this is really sad news. I'm pretty sure they've already sold it. I've heard that Cedar Fair have sold the land for California's Great America to a logistics company. Obviously, it's not going to remain as a theme park. And they said it will operate for about 10 or 11 more years before closing forever. This is really sad. In case you didn't know what I'm talking about, California's Great America is a theme park, an amusement park in California in the US, and it's got some amazing rides and roller coasters such as Railblazer, which is one of the world's first RMC Raptors, and Gold Striker, which apparently is an excellent and amazing wooden coaster, as well as all of the rides in the park. It's been operating for a while now. I'm not sure when it first opened. But obviously it's been owned by Cedar Fair for a while. I think it was one of those parks that were originally owned by Paramount before Cedar Fair bought it. I'm not sure. But obviously, they recently, only a few years ago, got Railblazer, which was their last roller coaster. So I don't think that California's Great America will be getting any more roller coasters ever. Because Cedar Fair have, I think they've sold it or in the process of selling. I can't really remember that much. But either way, they're planning to sell the land for California's Great America. They're not even selling it to a different theme park company like Six Flags or Million or anything like that. They're selling it to like a logistics company from what I've heard. And obviously, but because they're nice, they are going to operate it as a theme park for 11 more years, and then that's when it's going to be permanently closing forever. And obviously, this is really sad news for theme park enthusiasts all over the US and kind of in the world as well. I've heard it's a really great theme park. Not the best Cedar Fair park, because obviously that's like but it's among the best. So it's up there with the likes of Kings Island and Cedar Point and Carowinds and whatnot. It does seem like it is a really great park, and obviously if you live in the US and you go to Cedar Fair theme parks, go to California's Great America within the next decade or so, because it's going to be closing soon. It's not great at all. There kind of is. As for the rides that are in the park currently, I see them either getting relocated or completely demolished, or just left. What I mean, if they're selling the land to a company, they're not gonna completely like abandon them and leave them to just stand there. They're gonna completely demolish them or relocate them. I already know. Well, I don't know, but I already think that they're going to most likely sell some of the bigger and popular rides like Railblazer and Gold Striker. Those are probably the most two significant rides at California's Great America. I'm thinking probably half the rides at the park will get sold and relocated to different parks, and then the other half will get demolished. That's probably what I'm thinking will happen. But either way, it's not good news at all. I don't think anyone really saw this coming. Cedar Fair is probably one of the biggest theme park companies. I almost said in the world, but they don't really exist outside of North America, because obviously they've got theme parks all over the United States, and they've got one in Canada, obviously Canada Wonderland. But I think Cedar Fair have kind of been struggling recently, because last September they got rid of the Wicked Twister roller coaster at Cedar Point, and now they're trying to sell California's Great America. And on top of that, the other parks like Dorney Park, Valley Fair, Worlds of Fun, they haven't gotten any new coasters in absolutely ages, like at least 10 years plus, some of them. So Cedar Fair has kind of been struggling for some time, but I hope they manage to get back up on their feet and maybe start expanding the lineup, so some of the other parks like Dorney Park and Worlds of Fun, Valley Fair. But obviously for now it's about California's Great America, and it's weird to think that this is actually a park with a known closing date, and it's really sad. And I'm just kind of really sad about this, because I've never actually been to California, but it seems like it was a really great park. But obviously we've still got a few more years left to experience it. So if you live, like I said, if you live in America, go to California's Great America and experience it while you can. Also in the news today, Vekoma have been constructing the prototype of their new Super Boomerang coaster, that new Boomerang coaster model. And basically, what's happened? What they're building here is the prototype for a brand new type of coaster that they announced a few weeks ago. Where it's like it. Basically, I explained this the other week. Vekoma have been building boomerang coasters since probably like the 70s or 80s, and obviously we all know the classic boomerang coaster, which has a cobra roll and a vertical loop. That was the original one, but they discontinued that a while ago because it's kind of an old model that doesn't get built anymore. And obviously since then they've been building really family boomerangs, which have probably been more successful, even though there aren't as much, because there are probably like hundreds of Vekoma original boomerangs all over the world. But the family boomerang actually offered a bit more variety because they could have custom layouts, but obviously they were still family coasters, but there were more variety, which is probably why they're still being built to this day. But recently Vekoma actually announced that they plan on building a new type of the boomerang, but much more extreme. They're basically building a new generation version of the original boomerang, obviously with a completely different layout, but it's still an extreme boomerang coaster which pays homage to the original version of it, and it's a modern take on the extreme boomerang, and it looks absolutely incredible. I think they said it's like 59 meters or 52 meters in height, which is obviously over 150 feet tall, nearly 200 feet actually, and it looks absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for one of these to open in a new theme park. Obviously the picture that you can see on screen, I'm pretty sure this is not at any specific theme park. I think it's at Vekoma's factory in the Netherlands, because obviously this is the prototype that's being built. None actually exists at any park currently, but I cannot wait for the day where they actually are built at a proper theme park and open to the public. It looks absolutely incredible. It's about time that Vekoma start introducing some of their older ride types as in a new and different light, because they're actually reintroducing the tilt coaster by building one at Energylandia and at Cotaland in Texas with Circuit Breaker, and now they're reintroducing the Vekoma Boomerang coaster, and it's great that they're doing this, and I cannot wait for one of these to open somewhere in the world, hopefully in the UK. I always say that, I hope they build one of these in the UK, because they just look absolutely incredible. And finally in the news today, also kind of to do with Vekoma, Furuvik theme park in Sweden have announced they are building a new Vekoma family launch coaster for 2023. And obviously this is pretty great news for this park. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Furuvik is a amusement park in Sweden, and it brings the most significance to the UK theme park fans because they used to have, and I say used to because unfortunately they demolished it I think a couple of years ago, they used to have basically when Alton Towers relocated Black Hole. Yeah, they had Black Hole when Alton Towers closed it in 2005. They relocated it to Sweden and it went under the name of Rocket for up until I think last year or 2020. And it wasn't an indoor coaster like it was originally, but Black Hole actually got relocated to Sweden and it operated there until only fairly recently. So obviously Black Hole doesn't exist anymore, I'm so sorry to say that, but the good news is Furuvik themselves are actually getting a new family Vekoma launch coaster. Now they've said that this new ride is going to be I think 55 or 56 feet tall. It's got a maximum speed of 46 miles an hour, so it'll be like a family sort of thrill coaster. And it looks like a lot of fun. I don't think Vekoma have actually built a family launch coaster at this point. I know they've built extreme launch coasters like Abyssus at Energylandia and other things like that. But I don't think they've built like just a normal family coaster. I mean that is kind of questionable with their booster bike coasters, but I guess they classify as more extreme rides because they go over 50 and 60 miles an hour. But they've not built any that just go like 30 and 40 miles an hour like they are building here in Sweden. and it looks like an absolutely brilliant ride. I cannot wait for it to open. The ride is being called Lightning, which is kind of a great name for a roller coaster. And I cannot wait for it to open one day at Furuvik in Sweden. They're actually announced that it's opening in 2023, and I cannot wait for it to open. So yeah, that is it for this week's episode of Coast News. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment if you would like to see in the next video. Bye!